Happy Tuesday, Jar of Pain babies. We are back. Ben is back. Ben is better. I hope you enjoy this episode, and I thank you for tuning in. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I hope you enjoyed your Easter holiday. Maybe you had an egg hunt. Maybe you ate some ham. Me, myself, I ate some ham, and I loved it. A little bit of Dijon mustard. Let's go. This is a great episode for you carrot lovers especially. You're safe. You're beautiful. You're loved. Share the show with a friend. You can ask a question at jarofpain.com. I love you so much. Have a good day. Bye.
Jar of Pain, what time is it? Jar of Pain, what time is it? Jar of Pain, what time is it? Jar of Pain, what time is it?
Whoa. Welcome back to the Jar of Pain podcast, the podcast where we answer life's toughest questions from silly to serious. Ben, how you doing? You feeling better?
I'm feeling better.
Yeah.
Yeah, last week, sick boy.
Yeah. Last week I cried on the pod.
Thank you for doing that.
I had an emotional outburst, and then I had to call in sick to work the next day. It really messed me up. I don't know why, but it was nice.
Nice, man.
The next day I did literally nothing. I watched YouTube and TikTok simultaneously for 6 hours straight.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. I think they call it bed rotting. I think the kids call that bed rotting.
Yeah, that sounds like bed rot. It sounds like
But I was couch rotting.
little couch potato.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't feeling physically well either, but mentally I was like, if I have to do anything for anyone else today, I'm not going to make it.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah,
I think it's a common feeling.
definitely.
So yeah, you missed remember I texted you and I said, there's going to be an Easter egg hunt in the park, or someone's littering a bunch of colorful trash.
Yeah.
There was an Easter egg hunt. Every foot had different sized eggs. Like they had these big ones too, these big plastic eggs. I don't know who ran it. I don't know who it was. The kids cleared out the park in like 5 minutes. There was like 25 kids screaming and yelling for 5 minutes, and then they wrapped it up and it was done. It lasted less than 10 minutes from arrival of children.
Children's ability to find an egg is uncomparable.
Well, they weren't hidden. They were scattered. They were young kids.
But it doesn't matter.
But
They
were
will
just
find those
they
eggs.
were just sprinting around the park yelling and going, ah! You know? But I was kind of hoping it would last a while, because I think it'd be funny to have an active Easter egg hunt in the background of the podcast the day before Easter.
You can just replay that sound effect you just made, because that was pretty accurate.
Yeah, because you couldn't hear anything specifically. It was just like random sounds and yells and cheer. A lot of kids were happy.
Oh, yeah,
Especially if you got a big boy.
for sure.
I thought about going over there before and just kind of getting my toes in there.
What if you just took all the candy out of the eggs?
Dude, the best. When I was a kid, I had Easter egg hunts like with my parents and their friends and their kids. Sometimes you get a little $5 or a $10 in an egg. That was the money egg. You wanted that egg, baby. You wanted that.
That's a good. I want that egg right now.
I would love that egg. We should Easter egg hunt for adults.
And it's just, you open it and it's just like
It's like a little 8-ball of cocaine.
It's like just a break on paying rent for the month.
Dude, I know exactly what that would be worth, but that would mean more than it's worth to me. Because rent kind of sucks.
It blows.
Like, and I pay good rent. I pay rent in the 90s. That's how it feels. When I hear what other people pay for basically the same thing, it is a little small, but I'm just one guy. I don't need much. I'm just one guy.
Yeah.
But I got a bay window and a park view. Sometimes I see people on drugs. One time there was a naked guy in a tree. It was like -20 out. I've seen some things, but it's always interesting. And I pay good rent for that.
And money can't buy naked guys in a tree.
It can't, especially when it's -20.
That's just a feature.
Yeah. It's a feature, not a bug.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should we get to the jar?
We should.
Thank you for asking your questions at jarofpain.com. It's very easy to do, and you guys have been showing up more than ever lately.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
First question. If your life were a book and you could read the last chapter right now, would you?
Wow, that's a deep one right off the bat.
That is a good one.
That's a deep one right off the bat.
I've also been reading lately, so this is interesting.
I don't read. I'd like to get back into it. I think I've said this on the podcast before. I get into like fixations with reading, and then
Yeah.
I won't read for 6 months. But it is getting to be reading time. The
Would
spring is a good reading time.
Would you like to read a book I have that is about 172 pages long
That's
and-
not bad.
and is a really good book? It's about a
It's not
woman.
Flowers for Algernon, is it?
No, I don't know what that is.
It's a book where the guy forgets how to write. He's like sick and he like forgets how to write or something. Or it's like a AI intelligence that learns to write. Something about how the book Benjamin Buttons itself over the course of the book.
Interesting. No. This one is about a woman who's losing her ability to speak, meeting a man who is going blind, and about their connection. And it's really fucking good.
That sounds so stupid.
It does sound stupid. It sounds almost like rom-com-y.
Because eventually she starts. Eventually she can't write in the book anymore. It's just the guy talking. Or no, she can write, but she can't speak.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So like the guy's point of view is told through first person, and then her point of view is told third person. But it's really fucking good.
They romantic at all?
No.
They get down dirty at all?
No.
Imagine what that would sound like. Yeah, a lot of wheezing.
A lot of wheezing.
But let's, more importantly,
Would I read it right now?
I wouldn't.
Dude, you know how many
I don't want to know how I go.
times I've had the Bible in my hand and I'm like, I could just read the end of this and ruin everything.
That's not how the Bible works.
It's a book with a story.
Yeah, but the narrative is not necessarily. I guess it kind of is, but it jumps around sometimes. I haven't read it. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. I've read one book.
That's what I'm saying. If I read the end of it,
But the end of it, it's like Revelations is like prophecies and stuff, and I don't believe in prophecies. You can't. I believe in science fiction getting things right once in a while, but there's a lot of those they got wrong. So like you can't be like Simpsons
like
can
what?
tell the
Like
future.
what? Like what in the Bible did they get wrong?
There's a few things that could be probably a whole episode, and there's if you know something in the Bible that went wrong, comment below. We'd love to hear about it.
And if you believe that person is wrong, comment
on
below their comment.
That's right. Let's get that engagement up. Share the show with a friend. I wouldn't read it. It should be a surprise. You got to enjoy the ride, you know? What if you read it? What if I decided to read it right now? And then it was like, on April 20th, 2025, and then like, I die tomorrow. I don't want to know that. I don't want to know the story. I don't want to know the grand arc of my life and evolution as a person. I want to experience it because you may change things.
I mean, here's the thing.
Or you'll be worried you'll fuck it up.
Yeah. And also, what is the format of the book? Like, is it a book? Are we going to say that it's like a
It's
paperback?
it's like a novel.
Like it's a physical paperback?
Yeah.
Okay. If that book was in a library, I wouldn't read it. I would not go through all the trouble of getting a library card. Well, firstly, going to the library, then getting a library card, and then finding the book in the library. I wouldn't go through all that.
So the reason you wouldn't read it is because you don't want to go to the library.
But
Okay.
if that book was in front of me, if it stayed in front of me, at some point, I'm going to flip to the end.
I see what you're saying.
And-
So you would not be able to halt the temptation if it was in front of you, but if it was available at some, like you had to go on some type of quest
Correct.
to find your book.
Correct. Now, also, here's what would further entice me to do that. If my book was thin,
Mm.
I'm going to need to read it.
That's
I'm
actually
going to
a
need
really
to
good
find that
point.
out.
If it's like a Little of Mice and Men
Yeah.
60 pager.
Yeah. I'm
You
going
gotta
to
know.
I have questions and they need to be answered right now.
Yeah, that's a really strong point. That's a really strong point. Although I feel like my book, the first 3 quarters, I
Oh.
feel like I've lived so much life. I don't imagine I'll live as much life as I lived in my 20s the rest of my life. I've experienced a lot. I've seen a lot.
You've got pages.
I've got pages.
You've got stories, you've got side stories,
I've got side quests. I've got quests.
I feel like your book, like you don't have a book, you have a series.
Yep.
You have a box set.
Yeah, it's like a 3-book series.
Yeah.
The first one is Matt gets bullied a lot, and he has to learn how to deal with that. The second one is Matt's overcorrection of needing everyone to like him and traveling the country hoping people will scream his name. And then they do that. And then the one I think I'm starting right now, the third act, is the reconciliation of the need for attention, the getting of attention, and then not wanting attention anymore, but still wanting to make things that get attention now. But not too much and not in the wrong way. Hey, God, I got a lot of work to do.
It's a balancing act.
That's right. It is a balancing act.
So that's why I say to that question.
Cool, man.
Best way to season parsnips.
Interesting.
Are
Are you aware of what a parsnip is?
No.
It's a rooty veg, sort
Okay.
of like a carrot, more neutral flavor.
Mm.
So you can really put anything on it. Anything on it.
Could you cook it?
Yeah, you're supposed to. You roast it.
Okay.
Roast it. I would, in my experience with carrots, I've actually never cooked a parsnip. I've had them cooked for me.
Yeah.
In my experience, things like carrots, hardy root vegetables that are difficult, hard. A roast is the best way. A saute, not the same. You got to let it cook low and slow.
Sure.
But I'll say it, man. Olive oil, salt, pepper, garlic, a little SPG. That's the best. That's the best way. You don't have to get fancy with that kind of stuff.
I would do salt, pepper, honey.
You want a sweet. You want a little sweet. I don't like a sweet veg. I don't like a.
Just a little bit. Just like drizzle it over it so it gets like a little bit of sweetness. Not that it's soaked.
Yeah, I don't like a candied carrot. I imagine I would not like a candied parsnip.
Oh, dude. But it's a little honey, a little salt and pepper,
I like garlic.
and honey on a carrot.
No, not for me. Carrot's sweet enough. I don't like sweets though.
Whoa, what?
A carrot is sweet.
Carrot is not sweet.
It definitely is sweet.
It's literally a vegetable.
You're so wrong. And I can't prove it to you right now because I don't have carrot.
In which aspect?
A carrot has a sweetness. There's a sweetness to a carrot.
Compared to what? A potato?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. If you put a potato in front of you and a carrot in front of you, a carrot would read sweeter.
All right. You
Ever heard of carrot cake?
You got me that one.
They
Okay.
make cake out of it. They make cake out of the things.
There's a little more added to it than just the carrot.
But it's enhancing the sweetness of the carrot.
That's
The natural carrot sweetness title. It is Easter. Big carrot cake day. Big day for carrot lovers.
What's the best drug?
What do you think?
Hydrocodone.
Oh, you've done that one.
Not recreationally. I had my wisdom teeth pulled, and the dentist
And
gave
they
it to
gave
me.
it to you.
And let me tell you, didn't need it. It wasn't that bad, but boy, oh boy,
Yep.
are you floating on cloud fucking 9?
Yeah, that's good stuff. I think I've even said this on the podcast before. I actually think we maybe have answered this question before too. A lot of people are curious about drugs, and
Just do them.
well,
Just do them safely. Listen, this is coming from someone who was straight edge for 29 years. Don't listen to the propaganda. Experiment. Be safe about it.
yeah.
And really just jump straight to mushrooms. Go straight to mushrooms.
Yeah, I would keep it natural. I wouldn't do stuff like heroin or meth, but yeah, play around a bit. Play in the space.
Pass go, collect $200, spend that $200
That's right.
on mushrooms.
Punch the passport.
Boom.
When you have a surgery, I've had a few. Like I had to have knee surgery. Tore my meniscus in 2019. Bad. Couldn't put any weight on my left leg for 10 weeks. Had to move back in with my parents because if you can't walk around, you really are. You're like a toddler again. It was a terrible experience. We're all better for it. If you say you're nervous going to surgery, they inject you with something.
Mm,
That is the best one. And I don't know what it's called. They probably don't want you to know. But for the 1 minute where you're laying on the table before they put you to sleep and they go to the count back from 100 and then you wake up in a different time and place. And it's like an era of your life was deleted from memory. That drug.
it's fentanyl.
Maybe.
I think it is. I think it might actually be.
Dude, it's really good stuff. I didn't think I'd be pro fentanyl today, but Jesus, that thing they put in your body is like, it's like a wash of calm and also elation. Like I just started giggling, like, whoa.
Yeah.
like a very genuine, I've never felt anything like this, and I've tried. It's good, dude. It's really good stuff. That's the one. So fentanyl, I guess.
Possibly fentanyl.
Possibly
We'll put
fentanyl.
it in asterisks. Basically, anything that you can get from a hospital.
Yeah, and if
do
you
that.
Yeah, the hospital stuff is nice because like they know your weight and they're
They're professionals.
They're professional drug givers.
Okay, they're not like the fucking guy down the street who's just like, yeah, fucking, I have a scale. Like, no, they're taking everything into account.
Yeah, and if you're cold, they give you a blanket that inflates with hot air instead of being like a heavy blanket. It's sick, dude. Hospitals can be very cozy when people aren't dying.
Hospitals rule, so do their drugs.
Yep, that's right.
Who's your celebrity crush? These are fun questions.
These are fun questions.
These are fun questions.
I don't think I have a celebrity. Like, a crush is so... Ugh.
Wait, who's a celebrity you were desperate to have sex with?
Again, it's like... What? I'm not even going to entertain the fantasy of it, to me. Like, it's just... It feels stupid. There's celebrities I would have sex with, but that's a totally different question than want to have sex with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Megan Thee Stallion.
Interesting. That's a big choice.
Yeah.
Very beautiful woman. Man.
Or Brad Pitt.
Yeah. I'm not really into that, I don't think. But I've said on record, like, if Ryan Reynolds tried to kiss me, I wouldn't push back. 'Cause, I mean, he's seeing something in me I don't even see in myself. And that's worth something. That's worth a kiss.
That's worth it. That's worth an experiment. That's worth a question getting answered.
I think, you know how they say, like, gay is a spectrum?
Yeah.
I just went up a notch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your percentage just went boo.
Yeah, it just went just a little. I don't even think I can't even think of any actresses right now. I mean,
Tell me, he's not a singer, celebrity singer. You like singers?
I am more desperate to fall in love than have sex.
Okay, well then, who is a celebrity you would want to have a loving, meaningful relationship with?
That's now. See, this is a question that's more my speed, and it opens up a lot of avenues.
Wow,
But let's not be
semantics here.
Let's not be realistic. So it can be anybody. When I was in 4th grade and I saw Harry Potter,
Mhm.
I thought Emma Watson was the most beautiful woman in the world, and that's coming from an 11-year-old. Now that I am in my 30s,
Mhm.
I still think she's one of the most beautiful women in the world, and that's who I would choose. I think she's smart.
She's good.
She's got tenacity.
Yeah.
Ooh, I love that.
She's got ooh,
She's got the ooh factor.
ooh.
The ooh. Yeah, Emma Watson, dude.
Oh yeah,
Emma,
Megan,
give me a text.
Brad.
Well, let's just ask each other questions till 3 a.m. about our lives.
Let's fucking. We don't gotta talk about Harry Potter. We can just fucking chill here.
Yeah, I don't even care that you're into Harry Potter. That's just where I was first. That's where I was first made known of you and your existence.
Or I found out about you. Let's talk about tea.
I don't love tea, which might get in the way. Brits love their tea.
Brits.
I'll try tea for you, Emma.
Hannah has me drink is peppermint tea.
And you're into that. You're into an herbal tea.
Peppermint tea with honey.
You.
And that
Ugh.
no. You don't understand. Tea outside of that, so gross.
Peppermint tea with honey.
It's so earthy.
Okay. I'm not a tea man.
I'm not a tea man either. But when I'm feeling kind of gross, like I was
Yeah,
last week,
I bet that's nice.
yeah, a piping hot cup of tea.
And you got your throat sore and you're coughing.
You're just
I bet that just yeah,
sipping her
that's
down.
nice.
Please suggest a plot for the fictional cosmic horror novella, A Glowing Hole.
Oh, whoa.
Also,
What's a novella? Is it like a short?
that's a short.
Okay.
That's a short. Also, we're gonna answer this. However, not a question.
Well, read it again.
Please suggest a plot for the fictional cosmic horror novella, A Glowing Hole.
You're right. It's not a question. Now,
Not
if
a
you
question.
would have said, "Can you suggest?" That would have been
Can
a
you?
question. But this is a great
This is a great.
prompt,
Yes,
so I think it deserves our respect.
absolutely.
So it's cosmic. And it's
cosmic.
scary.
So this
too.
is like Lovecraftian. And the thing with Lovecraftian type stuff is like the horror isn't in the description. The horror is in the subtext, right? Like it's the in between the line stuff.
It's the stuff that you start thinking about that isn't written down.
Right,
But it makes you wonder.
because everyone thinks that like Lovecraftian stuff is like, oh, these creatures are so horrifying. And it's the fact that the guy's seen it and he's the only one who sees it. And now he has to deal with this idea that there is something so much more terrifying out there in the world that nobody else knows about, that he has to deal with it. And that drives him mad.
Yeah.
Right. So somebody in this plot, in this novella, sees
A glowing hole.
now instantly I go butthole. Butthole.
No. You can't go butthole.
I'm going butthole.
No, because it's cosmic.
It's a cosmic butthole.
There's no butts in space until you're in space.
You don't know that. Hence why it's terrifying when you come across a butthole.
Ben, I don't want to push back because I know you're trying to do a bit.
I'm not trying to do a bit.
And I don't want to. I want to yes and your butthole thing.
Then just yes and the butthole.
I can't because it's
Title.
it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Imagine you're lost in space.
Right?
You're on a mission. You've been selected since you were a child
Mm-hmm.
to go on this Hail Mary mission for humanity, where you are launched from a dying planet and you have to stay awake for 90 years to get to the next planet. You're moving faster than the speed of light. I know they say that's not possible. In this novella, it's possible.
That far ahead. That technologically savvy.
You have to be the person who, in your last days of life, have to plant the seed for the next generation on a planet so far away it's almost imperceptible. On your journey in the blackness and vastness of space, once in a while, a glowing hole appears, and you don't know why. What do? That's the book. What's in the hole? Is it watching you? Is it trying to consume you? What is the hole's purpose?
Well, you obviously put a finger in it and see
You
how
probably
it
put
reacts.
a finger in it. You probably put. I was thinking it was like bigger and outside the spaceship, not inside the spaceship. But we're writing this together.
You get in a spacesuit and you
go check it out, and you're not worried about your life because your life is already dedicated to humanity's existence.
Yeah.
But you are concerned with humanity's existence. There's an existential problem here. How curious are you about the whole? If you fail, will anyone really know? At this point, you're far enough from space that your planet's already dead. So people are counting on you, but there's really no accountability.
So you spit on that thing.
You spit on that thing.
You're going to be in a spacesuit, so you're going to have to like spit into a tube first,
and
put
then
a cork
and
on
then
it.
place the tube.
And then when you're out in space, you're going to have to like pull out the cork, and then you're going to have to like propel yourself, right?
Yeah.
You're going to have to.
You could throw it. You could throw it into the hole.
Wouldn't you have to hold it? You'd have to hold
if
the beaker.
you're spitting in the hole, you do not have to.
Title.
If you're spitting into the hole with a beaker,
Yeah.
you don't go with your spit.
No.
If every time I spit on the ground, my face planted into the ground, that's
Right.
not how spit works.
But if you throw something in space, that pushes you backwards. But you need the spit to fly out.
yes, you go like this.
You hold on to the beaker.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the light shards come out.
Little drips of.
And then the hole goes, "You've done it." And that's the last time you see the hole. And you don't even know what you've done. You have no idea what you've done. The mystery remains.
just closes up.
Yep.
Closes up all.
And then you spend 40 years driving yourself mad, wondering what the glowing hole was. And then the spaceship crashes and you fail your mission. That's our novella.
A glowing hole. And scene.
Thank you. Claps all around.
Is this last one?
Yes, it is. Wow, it's flown by.
You know what time it is.
It's kids in the park and they're hunting for eggs. They were all gone in 6 minutes or less. But what they don't know is I went over and I pissed in one of those eggs. Now a kid's got an egg filled with piss. Boom, boom. It's a really wet one.
That was a good one.
A lot of pee.
Guy's gonna have a golden egg. Worst shot you've ever tried?
I'll let you take this one.
Oh God.
Have you done shots? You don't drink, but you have drank.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I don't think they're talking about guns.
See, I was thinking about like asking a girl,
Oh, like shooting your shot.
shooting your shot. But I
Oh.
think maybe I don't know. It is an ambiguous question.
I can tell you the worst shot I've ever taken of alcohol. It was on my
Really?
30th birthday.
Yeah.
I was at the Hilltop.
Yeah.
The bar, you go when you want to buy drugs.
I'm,
That should be their official tag.
I'm aware.
And the guy found out it was my birthday, probably because I was telling everybody.
Yeah.
Naturally, it's your birthday, your 30th birthday. I was with my best friend because I was like, "Hey, I don't have plans. It's my 30th birthday, and honestly, I'm feeling kind of low about it." And he says, "Okay, I'm driving over. We're going out tonight. Went out to one of my favorite places, Amber Inn, for a burger.
Mm.
They closed at 10, so then we had to go right down the road to the old Hilltop. I'd never been there before. It's a dive. Music's really loud, but it's a place where people go to fucking drink. Yeah, it's not a fancy place. People go there
No.
to get fucking lit and then they walk home or drive home.
It is a square building that is small.
And it just has alcohol. It's like, hey, alcohol here, come get fucked. And so he found us at my birthday and he goes, let me get you a birthday shot. And I'm like, okay, that sounds fun. You know, a tradition, perhaps, for many people. Then he pulls out a can of Monster Energy and he takes a pint glass and he puts the whole, as much Monster Energy as he can into the glass. And then he balances 3 shot glasses on top of it. Whiskey, tequila, vodka. And then he goes, okay, so you slam it on the table and the liquor will go into the Monster and you have to do it all at once. And I turned to my friend and I said, I will see you in the morning. And I took that thing down and I really do not have memory of the night after that. Until, fast forward, we walked home. I'm assuming. I hope to God we walked home.
Yeah.
And like I came to, because that's happens sometimes when you black out, you come to,
Yeah.
like after you stop drinking, if you're still staying up. And with the Monster Energy, I'm up. We were in his car at like 4:30 in the morning listening to music, not driving, listening to music.
Yeah.
Because I don't have speaker. I'm a minimalist. And so that makes sense to me. And we were just listening to songs that we grew up with really, really loud and like screaming at the top of our lungs. And I was like, oh, I get here.
Yeah.
Dude, it was crazy.
I once did a shot of vodka.
Nice.
Yeah.
I don't mind vodka.
It was 2 shots of vodka, and I chased it with a lemon.
Hmm.
Or lemonade. No, it was a lemonade.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll put UV blue up there. That's gross. You drink a lot of that in high school because it's more tasty than the real stuff,
Yeah.
but it's gross and cheap.
What about Malort?
I have done Malort.
I like how they call it the champagne of pain.
Yeah. Malort is bad on purpose. It's the worst tasting thing. It actually might be the worst thing I've ever tasted.
They should just change it to the shit of the butt.
On the bottle, it says, get ready to fight your dad. Like they lean into it. But let me tell you something about Malort. It is the worst tasting thing you've ever done, but it is a community bonding experience. When people do it, they think it's fun because of how bad it is. And that's why Malort sells. Because it's the worst tasting thing in the world. And so it becomes like a tribal ritual to bring someone into the Malort circle if they've never tried it. It does a thing. And it's crazy. It's the worst thing ever, but it'll always sell. Because if you know about Malort, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There's an energy when the Malort bottle comes out. Everyone goes, oh, not this again. Oh, no. And then you do a terrible, hard thing together. And then you're like, you're better friends after.
Isn't that the same thing with Rumples?
Rumple Minze is much better than Malort. You would like Rumple Minze because it's peppermint.
Yeah, but I heard...
It's gross.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've never heard someone order Rumplemans, and then the person next to him didn't make a face.
Yeah, okay, so Rumplemans is the shitty older brother who got into a lot more trouble in high school to Fireball. So it's got the minty thing. It's higher alcohol content than normal. It's 50. It's like Fireball's 40% or 40 proof. Rumplemin's is 50 proof, maybe more. Honestly, I fact check on that, but it's kind of a similar thing. But when you're hammered, it's tasty. You're like, ooh, I'm ready to kiss a girl tonight, dude. Got minty fresh.
Ready to kiss their glowing hole.
Jar of Pain.